My neighbor texted me to stop coming over, but I've never been inside her apartment. I live in a small apartment complex. It's nothing fancy, people usually keep to themselves. There's a woman across the hall, and we don't really talk except for the usual, like, oh, hi, when we pass each other. One night around 11:30 p.m., I got a text from an unknown number, and it said, "Can you not come by this late anymore?" I thought it was just a wrong number, so I ignored it. A minute later, I got another text, and it said, "I know it's you, you don't have to knock." And that made me pause for a minute, and then I just responded back. I said, "I think you have the wrong number." She responded almost instantly, and she said, "Apartment 204, you are right across from me. I've seen you and my people before." And that made me freeze because, yeah, I do live in 204, but I told her, I said, "I haven't been outside of my apartment all night." She just replied with an okay, and that was that. And I got a little creeped, so I went and I looked outside, and there was nobody there, and my door was locked, and the deadbolt was locked. Anyways, I brushed it off until the next night, and that came around, and then I got another text from her, and it said, "You tried the handle." I got up immediately, and I checked my door. It was still locked. I opened it up, I checked the hallway. It was completely empty. I even went and I checked the stairwell, and there was nobody there, and I didn't hear any feet going down the stairs. So I went back into my apartment, and I just said, "I haven't left my apartment again." I didn't get any response back, but the next day, I ran into her in the hallway, and she looked a little tired, and I just asked her, "Is everything okay? Like, are you all right?" She just kind of hesitated, and she looked at me and she said, "Can you just not come by anymore at night?" And I told her, "It's not me that's coming by," and she just kind of nodded like she didn't believe me and went to her apartment. That night, I stayed up late on purpose. It was around 12:40 at night, and that's when I heard it. I heard a soft knock, not at my door, but across the hall. I sat there and listened for a minute, and then I heard her voice come through, and I said stop. And it was a very nervous but very stern tone. This time I stood up and I went and I looked at my peephole, and this time I swear I saw somebody standing there, and they weren't at her door. They were in front of mine, but they were facing her door. So I opened the door to address the person that I saw, and when I opened it, it was empty. And then I got a text on my phone, and it said, "Why are you just standing there by your door?" Closed my door. I didn't respond to her. And then a couple minutes later, I heard her open up her door, and then it closed again. And then the next day, when I went out to go to work, I saw a little paper on her door. It was a notice that she had moved out literally overnight. No goodbye, no warning, nothing at all. She was just gone, and I haven't gotten any text since. But sometimes, I swear on my life, I still hear the knock at the door on her side of the door. I don't know who it is, and I don't know where it's coming from, and I don't know what happened to her or why she moved out so late overnight. But